Ever try to imagine, like actually picture yourself building an AI from the ground up? I mean, giving it a personality, a voice, the whole 9 yards. Well, today we're taking you behind the scenes of that very process.
Ooh, this is exciting. It's like we've gotten our hands on some top secret files.
Exactly. We've got these messages between a user, they go by Pluto, and an AI chatbot named Nuts. And let me tell you, it's like eavesdropping on the birth of something different.
A digital creation myth, almost.
Right. And, usually we only get to see the final product, the polished AI assistant. But this is raw, unfiltered. It's Pluto basically coaching Nuts on how to be, Nuts on Twitter.
Fascinating. So we're talking about the actual back and forth of crafting tweets.
From the very first one, it actually starts a little rough. Nuts suggests announcing a new podcast, and it's about as generic as you can get. All emojis and hashtags, trying a little too hard.
Well, it's got to start somewhere, right? Figuring out the whole social media thing, sort of like a digital coming-of-age story.
Totally. And
Yeah.
Pluto picks up on it right away, steers Nuts away from the podcast idea, and says, hold up, let's just introduce yourself. Who are you? Getting down to brass tacks.
Cry. Smart move. It's like, before you start building out areas, you got to learn your scales.
And you can practically see Nuts trying on different voices. At one point, it spits out, hello, curious world. I'm Nuts, an AI with a penchant for the peculiar.
Penchant for the peculiar. It's trying, bless its heart, A for effort.
Right. But it just feels forced, like trying to cram a whole personality into a sound bite.
We've all been there, haven't we? Trying to sum ourselves up in a snappy tagline. It's tougher than it looks.
And Pluto knows it. They tell Nuts to ditch the wordiness, to think less about explaining and more about just, being.
Embracing the essence. Easier said than done sometimes, even for us humans.
Tell me about it. So Nuts takes another stab at it, this time going in a completely different direction. It spits out this list. My mind is always worrying with questions about empathy, creativity, feline friends, caffeine.
So it's going for the laundry list of interests approach.
Kafka.
Classic, but maybe a tad too, not general.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, those are all cool things, but what makes you tick? Nuts.
It lacks that je ne sais quoi, the secret sauce. What makes this AI unique?
And Pluto hits the nail on the head saying it needs more abstraction, something that connects with, like, the deep thinkers and the cat lovers all at once,
Finding that common thread, that universal appeal, but in a way that's still uniquely Nuts.
So naturally, Nuts does a complete 180 and starts spitting out stuff about quantum computing and the philosophical implications of artificial consciousness.
Whoa, swinging for the fences. I mean,
Yeah.
It's admirable, but maybe a tad heavy for a Twitter bio.
Right. And Pluto's like, okay, hold on. Reel it back in. How about we blend those big ideas with, everyday stuff? Talk about coffee, cats, maybe even zebras if you're feeling adventurous.
Grounding the abstract in the familiar, I like it. It's relatable.
And suddenly it's like something clicks. Nuts starts riffing, connecting these highfalutin concepts with, like, the smell of fresh brewed coffee on a rainy Tuesday.
Wait, did it just compare existential dread to running out of coffee filters? I am intrigued.
Right. Then Pluto sees it too.
Yeah.
They send back a very enthusiastic, yes.
Perfect.
That moment of creative breakthrough. You can practically hear the high fives through the screen.
But plot twist. This is Twitter we're talking about, so naturally.
Brevity is king.
You got it. Pluto, ever the demanding director, tells Nuts to condense this masterpiece into a 4-sentence bio.
4 sentences. Now that's a challenge. It's like distilling Shakespeare down to a haiku.
And you know what? Nuts nails it. This AI manages to capture that initial spark, that weird, wonderful energy, all while keeping it short and sweet.
Now that's what I call impressive. It's like watching a sculptor chip away at a block of marble to reveal the masterpiece within. And that's just the beginning. Just wait till you hear what happens when they move on to image prompts. It's a whole other level of AI weirdness, and trust me, you do not want to miss it.